What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Friday, June 4th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Only place you're going to get updates to my sim results as we get closer to lock. Finally, let me know in the comments section who is your favorite and least favorite of my contenders for today's slate. We are rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Dorian Finney-Smith, Tim Hardaway, Ivica Zubac, Kristaps Porzingis, and Marcus Morris on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? Time to find out. First up at number 5, we're going to 5K Nick Batum, projected for 22.5. He's in the captain spot 5% of the time. He's in the flex spot 45% of the time. I've got Batum in the optimal lineup 50% of the time. You can see that's a big time jump over Marcus Morris. I'm giving him 34 minutes. He's been a very key piece of their defense. Been able to manage a little bit more. They've been pretty good from a plus-minus perspective with Batum on the floor. Around 0.7 fantasy points per minute for the game, 9 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, 2 stocks. He's going to do a little bit of everything, but what you're betting on here are the minutes. And I think in this particular game, given what they need out of Batum, he's going to see a lot of them. Next up at number 4, we're going to $10,800. That's not the right way to say it. Paul George, projected for 45. He's in the captain spot 15% of the time. He's in the flex 38% of the time. That's a grand total of 53% odds of being in the optimal. Look, if they lose, they're going home. So that's 40 minutes for Paul George, but it could be more. Around 1.1 fantasy points per minute, 30% usage, 25, 7, and 5 with 2 stocks. Both Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are going to need to do something special here. Otherwise, they're going home, and one of them is probably not playing in Los Angeles next year. So I think that they wake up. I'm preferring Kawhi Leonard, who we're going to get to in a little bit. Paul George's price just isn't as good of a value, but clearly, Paul George is a guy you're going to need to have a lot of on this single game slate. But I do prefer his teammate, and it's by quite a bit. $11,600 Kawhi Leonard. He's projected for 49. He's in the captain spot 15% of the time, and he's in the flex 53% of the time. That's the same amount of time that Paul George is in the optimal in total. 69% of the time, nice, Kawhi Leonard is in the optimal. And again, I think he plays 40 minutes in a competitive game, but it's probably more if it's ultra competitive. 1.23 fantasy points per minute, 30% usage, 29, 6.5, and 5, 2 stocks. If I'm flipping a coin between Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, I've got to go to Kawhi in this spot. But they are clearly 2 of the 4 best plays that you can find on today's slate. Now, you're paying up for Paul George, you're paying up for Kawhi, but there's a guy that you don't have to pay up for. He's the key value piece, and I know you're going to like it. Number 2, it's BOBAN season, $2,400 for Boban Marjanovic, 16-point fantasy projection. He's in the captain spot 5% of the time, and he's in the flex spot a staggering 76% of the time, 82% likelihood of being in the optimal. This one's a no-brainer. I gave him 16 minutes, assuming he's starting again. He's a fantasy point per minute guy. It's normally way higher. It's going to be a little bit different in the playoffs. 20% usage, 7 points, 5.5 boards, an assist, and probably a stock. That's all you need at 2,400. If Boban is getting the start again and getting these minutes, he is the unquestioned number 1 value play that you can find. And no one is going to have a problem rostering a ton of Boban. But you can even get sneaky and put him in the captain spot. Just keep your eye on his ownership. Now, before we get to that number 1 contender, one last reminder, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Then follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Only place you're going to get updates to my sim results as we get closer to lock. Finally, let me know in the comments section who is your favorite and least favorite of my contenders for today's slate. And if you see someone, or if you don't see someone really, on this list that you expected to be there, let me know. I need to know what I'm missing. As if there was any doubt here, $12,800 LUKA DONCIC is the number 1 contender for today's slate. Projected for 59. He's in the captain spot 40% of the time. He's in the flex spot 44% of the time. 84% likelihood of being in the optimal. Again, I gave him 40 minutes. It could be more in an ultra competitive game. 1.48 fantasy points per minute. LUKA has to do everything for the Mavs in order to win this game. 37% usage, 32, 10, and 8 as a baseline. I don't know what else there is to say. If the Dallas Mavericks are competitive in this game, Luka Doncic has to have a good game. If the Dallas Mavericks win this game, I think Luka Doncic has to have something in the neighborhood of a triple-double. You're just going to need him today, one way or the other. The question becomes, do you play him more at captain or do you play him more at the flex? My guess is you should play him more at the captain spot, that his ownership will be lower there, but that's something you need to keep an eye on. That's something you could find at awesemo.com. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Friday, June 4th. There was no process show today, but strategy show at 10 a.m. and a FanDuel version of this video is around here somewhere. And then that is it. No live before lock. I will be back again Monday morning for another edition of the Contenders. Good luck tonight, everybody. Have a great weekend.